everyone, I hope this video finds you well wherever you are in the world. I wanted to speak on breast cancer this week a little more. Obviously, I speak about it a lot. And what's been coming up of late with a lot of different women that I've been connecting with is the after treatment. What goes on in the mind? How do we get back to normal? How do we do all the things we used to do? And if you have looked it up, I wrote a blog essay article for Living Beyond Breast Cancer Organization's blog. So if you want to check that out, I'll put it in the caption below. But it seems to be touching a lot of women, which I appreciate because I never know if what I'm saying makes sense or if it, my intention is to reach and to provoke thought and conversation and ultimately healing. And what I've learned and what I'm learning, because this is a lifelong journey, right? None of this is, I'm done treatment and now everything's back to normal. It's really, there is no normal, right? There's no thing that we're trying to get back to. In the beginning, when you start all of this in the treatment, it seems like it's going to be such a small, quick part of your life and that you'll be able to just do what you've always done. But the interesting part of the journey is when you get to the other side, you're going to be a completely different person, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Things that you like to eat before you won't like to eat. People, places, things just won't necessarily register or resonate the same. And that's all okay. It can be scary because you went from life as you knew it to this stripped down, super rigid life of you can't do this, you can't do that, you're scared to do all of these things or some of the things, and your body's going through fucking hell, right? Just physically, hormonally, mentally, like it's all heavy and it's a lot. It's a lot of emotional labor, whether you're keeping it to yourself or whether you're sharing it with others. It is a lot. It is overwhelming. It is deep and it ebbs and flows all day, every day. And you can have a great day, and in the middle of a great day, you can have a really bad moment or a moment where you're just crying your eyes out, right? Because you're mourning and grieving and you're angry and then you're thankful, and it's literally that all the time. So what I'm discovering in my own journey, and as well as the journeys of women that I'm honored that they share with me, is the after. And I'm really learning and leaning into, I think that's going to be, and I think that is my purpose of my movement, is helping women in the after. And really what I'm learning and what I've learned is that it's all about alignment. So previous to cancer, I set my life up and I lived my life a certain way. And in making those choices and making those decisions, I was happy or I wasn't happy, and most of it was probably based on fear and or needing to be liked or needing validation, like all of the things. And how does this look on the outside versus how does it feel on the inside? And then cancer will swoop in, you'll face your own mortality, you won't die, you'll think about like it could be any minute because you just don't know, and life all of a sudden becomes extremely precious. Your energy, your time, your conversations, everything becomes so precious. There's not one day post my diagnosis that I sit and I listen to gossip or I sit and have a conversation with anybody, doesn't matter who they are to me, whether they're a loved one, someone I've known for 20 years, or someone I just met. I will have no conversation and no energy exchange with anyone if it's not worth my time and my energy. Because now I move through life in this way of, is this serving me? And it is selfish, but not in a like, ego-driven, selfish way, in a very intentional, aligned way. Is this serving me? Is this serving my life? Is this serving my energy? Is this pouring into me, or is it taking away? And once you start seeing things and viewing the world through that lens, it's the only way that works. The old me was able to push through and endure and do all the emotional labor because, I have certain friends that, you have to be this way because you have to understand their trauma, their this, their that. And then when you're dating, you have to do this. And now I actually can't do any of it. Like I could try, but it just doesn't work. I just don't have time. And it's funny because you're like, of course you have time. The thing is, I don't know how much time I have, and the time that I do have, which is the time that I have right now that I know that I have because it's happening in the now in the moment, I don't want to spend wasting it on things that don't matter, right? I don't want to hear about conversations that are empty and meaningless. I don't want to talk about things that are empty and meaningless. I don't want to go to places and spend money on things that are empty and meaningless. The things that I want to do are I want to spend quality real time with people that I love and care about in real ways and where I'm really connecting. I want to read books. I want to travel. I want to see things. I want to have these experiences. I want to reach people. I want to have deep conversations. I want to help other women come back to themselves and break down all of the shit that didn't work. And it's not just choosing like, okay, now I'm going to live this life and I'm going to own my own Pilates studio and do all these things. No, no, no. We have to go back and we have to look at all of the shit before and the shit that we've dug and stuck under and unearth it and work through it. So then moving forward, we can choose everything that is fully in alignment with who we are and who we've always been deep down, the true self, the true light that's within us that doesn't really care, that stopped caring, what people think and thought and choosing, no, that person, that light that is inside of you, that's who we want to meet. That's who we want to unearth. We want to give her voice back. And that requires doing the work. And the work is not easy. It's not fun. I've outlined it in my book. I'm trying to find a way to create a program to like walk someone through it line by line. Maybe it's with me, maybe, because some of this work is so personal that you may not want to, work with someone. But the main part is you have to do the work. You have to look at where you've been and your choices and understand why you made those choices and who that person was that made those choices and break it down in bite-sized pieces and process it so you can then step into alignment and intention moving forward. Because what I'm witnessing and what I've witnessed in my own life and what I witness in others around me is if you don't do the work and you don't do the honest work and the honest digging, you will keep doing and living the same experience over and over again. You will meet the same people over and over again that give you the same exact experience. Why? Because that is what you're choosing. And don't think by, oh, I'm not going to choose so it doesn't affect me. No, by not choosing, you are choosing. And that's the thing, like it is your choice, but the outcome is still the same. So you're either going to learn the lesson now or you're going to learn the lesson later. But the lesson itself doesn't ever go away. It's like the Course of Miracles says the course is required. The only thing that is up to your free will is when you decide to start and take the course. And that's something that's always stuck with me because it's like, wow, this is a requirement of life, right? Doing the work, doing the inner work. And the only thing that's you can start it, you can do it when you're 10 or you can do it when you're 90, right? I think the best time is to do it now because like that's all that there is. There is no real time. It's just now. Yesterday doesn't exist, tomorrow may never come. It's just in this moment now. So I'm going to work my butt off because I feel so sure about this and so determined. And I really just want to awaken as many women as I can to their alignment, to their feminine energy, and just so they can be and live in health and harmony. And I say health and harmony because I do believe that dis-ease, it's all related. Yes, of course, there's medical things and science that connect all of that, but I believe it's also energetic and emotional. If we really had a bunch of people in a room that had a bunch of different cancers, you could throw men in there. You know, the only thing this may not work with is children because they don't have an experience, you know, that, you know, as an adult would. But like there's always like something heavy and trauma or a narrative. There's more to it than just simply a cell went off and mutated. Yes, that is the science part of it, and I'm not debating the science part of it. I am asking and looking at the emotional, the well-being, the human part of it, because I think it's all connected. I don't think it's one thing. And honestly, why not start and do the work now and clean up the foundation, have a strong, neat, supportive, a foundation full of integrity. Because without integrity, nothing works. So I'm super excited because I'm posting this video to make myself accountable so that I have to come up with a digestible way, more than I already have by putting it in the back of my current book. It starts on page blah 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 199 in my book. It's an invitation. It says an invitation to journal, and I walk you through it. A space to integrate, reflect, and remember. And I walk you through all of it. But I'm gonna work on this. I'm using this video here as my call to action. I have my actionable steps. I have you to hold me accountable, and I will show up for you, and we will do this together. If there's things that you want to hear more about, things that you want to talk about, things you have questions about, add a comment, DM me, find me on Instagram, send me an email. You know, you can reach me, and it may take me a minute, but I will always get back to you. Be well, and please join me in doing the work.